Hey guys, Mike the Bike here, back for yet another video. Today we're doing a review on my Sony A7R III. We're gonna keep this video relatively short and just focus on the review of this thing and also compare it to the current A7R II. Okay, so let's get started with the changes in this camera compared to the old one. So the biggest change with this camera that everyone's talking about is the bigger battery. It's at probably at least double the capacity. I don't really know exactly, but I'm able to do actually full shoots on just one battery these days. I think at most I would buy one spare, whereas with the A7R II I have like six spare batteries or something. Next change on the body is going to be the dual memory card slot. Again, people talk about it. I'm not a super professional, so I'm not recording both, but actually the bigger reason I'm not recording both is one of the slots is UHS-2, which means it's fast, but the other one is slow, which is really annoying. I wish they were both fast. It's still very nice to have because the primary card is still a heck of a lot quicker, and one of the really annoying things with the R2 was you would sit there and take your shots, and then you'd want to review, and you'd be sitting there all day waiting to get to look at your pictures. Next physical change is they moved the record button. These are kind of like addressing all the major consumer complaints. So record button used to be here, it was very annoying. Now they put it nice here, you can't miss it. They also added a joystick, which is really nice to use for autofocus and just adjusting. And then also they upgraded the screen. It is now a touch screen and it's now brighter. So another major complaint I had with the R2 was when I was recording video outdoors in sunny conditions, it always sets the screen to the lowest brightness and you couldn't see a darn thing. With this camera it sets it to the full brightness or whatever the heck you want, which is perfect because now I can actually film video outdoors and see what I'm doing. Now they did add the touchscreen like I said, however, it's not the best thing in the world. Like, it does work, but like compared to Canon and stuff, it's worse. Okay, that is going to be everything for the physical changes. Let's go now with the technicals. Okay, now for the internal changes. Ton of internal changes. So first and foremost actually is going to be the ISO performance on the camera. One of my main complaints actually with the R2 was pretty much I personally wouldn't have used it higher than 1600 ISO. Like in an emergency, sure, you could do 32, but not really. With this camera you can do 3200 no problem really, and so it's pretty much one stop up. So now if you need to, you could do 64 and you could push it even higher, but you know, for professional stuff, 32 and emergency 64. Okay, next major change is going to be they added 1080p 120 FPS with no crop. Previous one had 60 FPS. Something to keep in mind, you know, the S2 for example, yes it did 120 at 1080, but it had a 2.2 times crop, which means everything's super punched in and it's very annoying to work with. So this is pretty much a huge upgrade in the slow-mo department. Okay, that's actually it for major changes. Other than that, they did upgrade the menu system. It's nothing really, in my opinion, huge. It is convenient. You can say they added like headers, like titles for every single area so you can quickly get to them. And they also added a favorites area, which cameras are adding a lot these days. I haven't used it too much because honestly I've been using Sony cameras for about a year now. I had the S2, R2, a bunch of others, and I don't know, after a year you just get used to it. Like, yeah, if you're coming from a different platform it might be a little bit tricky, but it's always going to be like that. And the last feature that they added would be S-Log 3 instead of S-Log 2. Yeah, I don't use S-Log very much. I used to use it a lot, and it is nice to have. It's very nice to have. And S3 is just going to mean that you're getting even flatter images, so more freedom in post. I actually forgot one thing. Supposedly they increased the autofocus performance. They say it's twice as fast. Honestly, I didn't really have any issues with the R2 autofocus time, even in video. But of course, I'm not complaining. The faster, the better. But so far, I don't know. I haven't really noticed too much of a difference. Okay, that is actually going to be everything for this review. I'm going to try to keep it like super duper quick. In summary, should you upgrade from the R2? In my opinion, there's no question. Yes, you should. The R2 you can buy now in Canadian for somewhere around like 28, around there, used. And the R3 costs somewhere around $4 grand. Yeah, it's $1,000 more, but you get so much. Like, that ISO performance is huge for me. Anyway, yeah, yes, you should upgrade. It's a big improvement. It's very expensive, But if you're a professional, then it's a no-brainer. This thing is easily the best all-in-one camera you can buy. You know, you can compare it to like the 1DX Mark II, but for me personally, it's too large. But those are the two main ones, and this one's a heck of a lot cheaper. The only other complaint I can think of, which is applicable to kind of all Sony cameras, the lens selection is kind of not really there yet. We've got a lot of the professional lenses, but they're super expensive. For example, back in the day, I had a Canon T5i. I could buy it was like 17 to 55 mil 2.8 Sigma lens. Now the glass was bad and all that, but it was just nice to have a 2.8 zoom. Now to get something like that for this camera, you have to get a 24 to 70 2.8, which runs you $2,700. And yes, absolutely, it's significantly sharper and it's going to create beautiful images. But it would be nice if they just had more options. Just the lens selection, it's not ideal for somebody that's on a budget, but if money is not an issue, then yeah, they got a lot of professional lenses now, which is very good. Okay, you might be watching the video right now and you're probably wondering, okay Mike, nice comparison, but where the heck's the actual review? Well, the reason I did the video in the way that I did is because this camera, I don't really have any complaints at all. I have nothing negative to say about the camera. Sure, you could cry about maybe it doesn't have 4K 60, maybe it doesn't have a flip screen. I would say that's not really the point of this camera. It's a huge improvement from the R2, and it's definitely worth pointing out, like, good job Sony, you know? You fixed everything wrong with the R2 and then some. I mean, companies like Canon, I don't know what the heck they're doing. Anyway, I could ramble on all day, but in summary, the R3 is a fantastic camera. In my opinion, the best all-in-one camera you can get if you want fantastic stills and fantastic video in one package. This is it. That is going to be the end of this video. I hope that you found it interesting. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.